What if the biggest red flag in your relationships isn't the people you meet? What if it's the pattern you never noticed? You promise yourself this time will be different, a different face, a different personality, a different beginning, yet somehow the ending feels strangely familiar. You trust too quickly. They slowly change. Or maybe they were always that way. You just couldn't see it. After enough painful relationships, it's easy to believe you're simply unlucky, that the world is full of the wrong people. But psychology suggests something far more unsettling. The people you attract may not be random at all. Patterns are rarely accidents. Your brain is constantly searching for what feels familiar, not necessarily what is healthy. Familiar. There's a huge difference. Think about your favorite song. The first time you heard it, it was just another melody. Then something clicked. Your brain learned it. Now it feels comfortable. Relationships can work the same way, even unhealthy ones. Behavioral psychologists have discovered that familiarity strongly influences attraction. People often mistake what feels familiar for what feels safe, but familiar doesn't always mean good. Sometimes it simply means you've seen it before. That's why someone can recognize every warning sign in another person's relationship, yet completely miss them in their own. Emotion changes perception. The closer you feel, the harder it becomes to see clearly. Have you ever noticed how certain people seem incredibly charming in the beginning? They know exactly what to say. They make you feel understood, special, different from everyone else. It feels almost perfect. But your brain isn't only reacting to their words, it's reacting to something much deeper: validation, attention, emotional reward. Every compliment releases tiny bursts of dopamine. It's the same chemical involved in motivation and reward. Your brain quietly begins connecting that person with feeling good. This is completely normal until it happens too fast. Because when emotions grow faster than understanding, judgment often falls behind. Some people don't fall in love with who someone is, they fall in love with how that person makes them feel. That's an important difference. One is reality, the other is chemistry. Chemistry can be powerful, but chemistry is not character. Someone can make your heart race while quietly ignoring your boundaries. Someone can make you feel chosen while never truly choosing you. The most dangerous relationships rarely begin with obvious warning signs. If they did, most people would walk away immediately. Instead, they begin with excitement, hope, attention. Then something slowly changes. Replies become slower, plans become uncertain, affection becomes unpredictable. Your brain notices the change, and something unexpected happens. Instead of pulling away, many people lean in. The chase begins. Why? Because uncertainty captures attention. When rewards become unpredictable, the brain often focuses even harder. It's one reason people struggle to walk away from unhealthy relationships. They're not only chasing the person, they're chasing the feeling they had at the beginning. Researchers studying human attachment have found that inconsistent affection can create stronger emotional dependence than consistent affection. Not because it's healthier, because uncertainty keeps the brain searching for answers. The mind starts asking, what changed? What did I do wrong? How do I get things back to the way they were? Notice something. The focus quietly shifts. Instead of evaluating the other person's behavior, you begin evaluating yourself. That's a psychological turning point because self-doubt often replaces curiosity. And once self-doubt appears, red flags become easier to excuse. They're just stressed. They've been hurt before. They didn't mean it. Little by little, reality becomes blurred by hope. Here's the hidden truth. Most people aren't attracted to toxic people. They're attracted to emotional familiarity. Sometimes that familiarity comes from childhood, sometimes from past relationships, sometimes from years of believing love must be earned instead of received. If attention was unpredictable growing up, predictable love may actually feel unfamiliar. Calm relationships can seem boring. Healthy communication can feel strange. Emotional stability can even feel uncomfortable, not because it's wrong, because it's new. Your brain isn't trying to hurt you, it's trying to repeat what it already understands, even when those patterns no longer serve you. That's why changing your relationships isn't just about finding different people, it's about changing what feels normal. And that's where the real mystery begins. Because once you understand how your mind quietly chooses familiarity over compatibility, you'll start noticing a hidden pattern that has been influencing your relationships all along. That pattern is invisible to most people, but once you see it, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. The most important relationship you have is the one your brain has with familiarity. It quietly shapes who feels exciting, who feels comforting, and who feels impossible to forget. Neuroscientists have found that the brain loves patterns. Patterns save energy. They help us predict what comes next. But there's a hidden cost. If an unhealthy relationship becomes familiar, your brain may stop questioning it. This is why some people leave one toxic relationship only to find themselves in another. The faces change, the story stays the same. Not because they're weak, because the pattern never changed. Think about the people who make you feel instantly understood. Sometimes that's genuine compatibility. Sometimes it's emotional familiarity wearing a different face. Your heart feels at home before your mind has gathered enough evidence. The danger isn't falling in love. The danger is confusing intensity with intimacy. Intensity feels fast. Intimacy grows slowly. One creates excitement. The other creates trust. Manipulative people often understand this difference. Some create emotional highs, then suddenly become distant. The change isn't always intentional, but when it is, it keeps the other person emotionally invested. Your brain begins chasing the return of those early moments. Imagine climbing a staircase. Every healthy relationship is another steady step upward. Trust builds, respect grows, safety becomes stronger. Now imagine an elevator. It shoots you to the top almost instantly. It feels thrilling, but if the cables snap, the fall is just as fast. That's why relationships that move too quickly can sometimes feel impossible to leave. The emotional investment happened before true understanding. Your brain connected excitement with love. Real connection doesn't need constant uncertainty. It doesn't make you wonder where you stand every day. It doesn't force you to earn kindness. Healthy love doesn't feel like passing a test. It feels like coming home. So how do you break the cycle? Not by becoming cold, not by distrusting everyone, but by slowing down. The human brain makes better emotional decisions when time replaces urgency. Pay attention to consistency. Do their actions match their words? Do they respect your boundaries when it's inconvenient? Can they communicate honestly during conflict? Character is revealed over time, not during perfect moments. There's another powerful habit. Listen to your body. Before your mind creates excuses, your body often notices discomfort first. A tight chest, restless sleep, constant anxiety, feeling like you're always trying to say the right thing. Those signals deserve attention. Healthy relationships create peace more often than confusion. They don't eliminate problems, but they make problems easier to solve together. Fear becomes smaller. Trust becomes larger. That's the difference. One psychological shift changes everything. Stop asking, do they like me? Start asking, do I feel emotionally safe with them?
That single question changes where your attention goes. Instead of chasing approval, you begin evaluating compatibility. The people who belong in your life won't require you to shrink your personality. They won't make you question your worth every week. They won't confuse silence with communication or control with love. They'll make room for honesty, respect, growth. Here's the surprising truth. The moment you value peace more than emotional excitement, many of the wrong people lose interest because healthy boundaries make manipulation much harder.